Now, the government has backed plans to build new railway stations to help reduce congestion in South Birmingham. The original stations at Moseley and this one at King's Heath closed in 1941, but the line remained open to trains. And now plans for 3 new stations on what's called the Camp Hill line are gaining momentum. Here's our transport correspondent, Peter Plisner.
The centre of Moseley today, full of traffic and at peak time a commuter nightmare. Buses are frequent, but they get caught in the queues too. A train station would change all that.
I think it'd be really helpful, to be fair. I think it's the one thing that's lacking from the area.
I think it would be great. I think it'd probably bring a lot more people to Moseley from outside of the area. Also it'd be a lot easier for us to get around because sometimes buses obviously take a little bit too long.
Today the Transport Secretary was in Moseley to find out for himself how badly a station is needed.
I strongly believe we've got to bring back into service some of the routes we lost in the beaching era 2 generations ago, which are frankly in the middle of busy urban areas where there's a desperate need for more public transport, get people off the roads and onto commuter trains.
The queues are just as bad in nearby King's Heath, which, like Moseley, lost its station in the 1940s. This is what it looked like soon after it closed. The station here has now been demolished and replaced by a DIY store, but momentum is now building for new stations both here and elsewhere to cater for rapid growth in the number of passengers using the Birmingham rail network. The Camp Hill line offers an alternative route into Birmingham's New Street station, but it's rarely used by passenger trains. Normally they use the line through Selly Oaken University. In addition to 3 new stations at Hazelwell, King's Heath and Moseley, the plan would also see Kings Norton station upgraded to become an interchange.
We can't promise anything yet, but I think it's an incredibly positive sign that along with the Second Estate we've got Network Rail, West Midlands Trains, the West Midlands Combined Authority. So yes, I do believe that this will happen, probably sooner than we first thought.
With a good wind, the new stations could be up and running within 3 years.
And Peter is in Moseley for us this evening. Peter, these new station plans have been talked about for many years. So what's changed to make them more likely to be built now?
Well, I think actually, Mary, they've been talked about for around 20 years and Andy Street, the mayor, still didn't make any promises today. But I have to say, we now have a combined authority with a devolved budget so they can decide where to spend their own money and 2 devolution deals. We also have HS2 coming, and that has meant something called the HS2 Connectivity Fund, which is primarily designed to allow people to access HS2 from other parts of the region. And this scheme certainly fits well into that. And after the Midland Metro expansion, rail schemes are now top priorities. And of course, this scheme is now top of that list.
But Peter, do you think people would actually use these new stations? I mean, for many, the car is still king, isn't it?
Well, I think what we need to remember is that a lot more people are using the rail network at the moment. I think even transport planners are surprised. And Kings Heath and Moseley have big populations. And I have to say, they're just the sort of people who would leave their cars at home or choose not to have a car at all. And getting on the rail would certainly help the congestion that we're seeing in both those places at the moment. OK,
Peter Plisner, thank you. A woman from Shropshire has appeared at Birmingham Crown Court today.